Max Park Creek. I wanted to come to you again here. It's episode 12 on hashtag Ask Michael Monday. I wanted to introduce as our second guest speaker of the new year. I'm really excited. It's a really good speaker. One of our American Van Lines, Brian Maguire, has helped a lot of our clients out, and I wanted to bring him on to ask a lot of questions. There's some misconceptions about the moving of your, when you move in your property. So I wanted to bring him out. A little bit of information. I hope everybody had a great weekend. A lot of football played. I'm a true Philadelphia Eagle fan. Sorry, Brian, I know you're a New York Giant fan. But the Eagles won. I'm hoping that they'll take that momentum into the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. So I'm really excited about watching that game. So I'm a big diehard Eagle fan. So we hope to see a victory. So I wanted to introduce Brian and give us a little background information on how long you've been in the business, and a little personal information, and a little bit information on American Van Lines.
Well, Mike, thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's an honor. My name is Brian Maguire. I work for American Van Lines. I've been in the moving industry for over 20 years. I started off as just a normal employee working underneath my grandfather's company. By about 8 years after that, I was an owner-operator. I did that for about 7 to 8 years. I moved down from New York to Florida in 2012. I worked for another agency for a couple of years to get my feet wet down here. I got to know some people, but then I moved on to bigger and better things, and American Van Lines is now my new family, and I love working for them, and my boss, Anthony DeSorbo. The difference between us and major other companies out here is the care, that we care about our clients. And American Van Lines proves that by being the #1 rated mover in the country by Consumer Affairs. And this year alone, we have over 400 reviews that prove that, and a 4.8 out of 5-star ranking. So Michael, thank you very much for having me, and we'd love to help out any clients, any real estate agents out there.
Great, yeah, definitely. The difference is just the accessibility, the availability that Brian personally comes out and sits with our clients and really gives them answers all their questions and concerns, but really goes through the house differently than I've ever seen with any other moving company we use. So we really has exceeded our expectations. Our clients are really happy with his service. So we really are partnered up with Brian with many clients over the last few years. We've worked together with Brian. The other question that we get a lot of these questions before people start the moving process. How does the pricing work? Is the job by the hour or by the job or by the hour? That's the questions that a lot of clients ask us.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you asking that question, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there how moving companies come up with their quotations. The first thing I eliminate is by chance or the possibility of something changing the move day without the customer realizing that change. By me coming out there, first and foremost for a local move, it is by the time, plus packing and a few other charges that might come up. But by me coming out there, I guarantee that this is the price. It will not exceed this based upon what you've shown me and what items and what services you'd like to be rendered. Now, moving out of state is by the weight, and that's driven by the items list. So as I go through the customer's home, they will show me what's coming, what needs to be boxed up, so I can generate a pricing based upon what they have shown me, what is going, and the weight will come up and their price will be given to them in both situations on the spot.
That's great. Another question is your crew's coming in there, and people still own the property, a liability purpose, workman compensation, liability insurance. Yes. Can you explain to our viewers so they feel comfortable, with your company going out there, that nothing's going to be damaged, or if it is, it's covered?
Well, the first thing I always recommend to any consumer is to go on sunbiz.org, and you'll see if the company has a license, because this is important for multiple facets. First and foremost, for workman's comp. If a company doesn't have insurance, they don't have workman's comp, and they slip and fall when the employees hurt themselves on the property, your insurance company is not going to cover you. You will be personally liable for the suit, and you will be the personal one paying out whatever that lawsuit is. And I've seen people lose their houses over that. And then when it comes down to the coverage for the items themselves, there's two different options. And now this is the biggest misconception in the moving industry. Just by hiring a moving company, you are not entitled to full coverage insurance. You have to buy that. You have one option of purchasing full coverage replacement value insurance from the moving company, or you can take the basic guidelines, which is 60 cents per pound per item, which is included in every move, free of charge. That is what the state and federal government mandates that we option. And another important note is anytime a customer packs a box on their own, that will not be covered whether you take the basic or the full coverage package plan. So these are things that I educate the consumer when I come out there so they can understand what they're getting into. Now, when it comes down to property damage, a moving company, even if they run over or hit a mailbox, they're fully responsible for replacing that, regardless of what type of they've chosen furniture. So that's something important for them to know, Mike.
The other question is, people get quotes over the phone. It's like, this is why we started working with you, because I like that you go out there. But do you offer a written quote or a not to exceed estimate? That's the question we get.
When I come out there, I give them a guaranteed price. But what people need to understand is that's a guaranteed price based upon what they've told me. You can't add on more services and not tell the company or the estimator and expect the pricing to be the same. Nor can you take off services and expect that it automatically will be discounted. What I offer is a good line of communication. I'll even come back to your house 2 or 3 times, which I have done for Michael's, and actually I'm doing as soon as we leave here. I'm going to be seeing one of Michael's clients, and just because they've communicated to me that there's a difference, they're going to have me come on out there, and I will spend my time with them to make sure that they don't have those problems on move day and that their price is guaranteed.
That's great. The other question is, a lot of people subcontract in this business. It gets on to, people are moving to Cleveland, and when they pass one state, then another company takes over. Is all of the jobs handled from start to finish, local, out of state, handled by American Van Lines?
Yes, they are. From beginning to end, it is American Van Lines, American Van Lines only. And that separates us from 99% of the moving companies in the United States. Even with the bigger agencies, Mayflower, Allied, United, most people don't understand that those companies only do out-of-state shipping, and those companies are comprised of agents, which are small, local, independent moving companies that operate underneath the big flag. So one company could book the job, but another company actually performs.
Same in our business too.
Yeah.
In real estate. Do you offer a cancellation policy or guarantee? I think a lot of people like to feel that comfort when you come out there, or when you get a quote that if God forbid something happens on a deal and they might have to hold off or cancel their temporarily maybe cancel their move. How do you handle that?
Well, as long as the guys don't show up on move day, the company will offer the deposit back usually. We'd like to know in advance. But when it comes to a situation where a closing gets moved and the customer calls and says, Brian, we can't move tomorrow. We would just place the move on hold, and then we wait until the date that they're ready to move, and then we proceed with the job. We're here to help our clients. We're not here to keep their deposits. We're here to do the moves for them.
That's great. We've had some issues where that might happen, where the seller might not be ready for close for our buyers, and it might not even be this buyer's fault, but we've had that happen, and Brian has really stood by his word, and we've had clients that are able to get to the next property maybe a day later, and it all works out where no fees incurred or any issues. Now, the biggest question I think people also ask is, how do they pay? Do you pay up front? Are you taking all the money? What are the deposits? How does it work when somebody has to pay you?
Well, for a local move, we take a 10% deposit. For an out-of-state shipment, we take a 30% deposit. We're leaning on this, though. What we do is, if you want to reserve the date and you say, Brian, I can't pay a deposit today, can I pay you next Tuesday? And the move's not a month and a half from now. That's not a problem. We'll still reserve and hold the truck for you for that date, just in good faith. And on top of that, we'll also bring out the boxes to you, which we do offer up to $100 to $150 worth of packing supplies dropped off to each customer free of charge, and that's done by myself or my assistant. They don't even need to go pick them up. We'll bring it to them.
That's great in our business, because we have to declutter, and I tell people you're going to move it out. You're going to be moving anyways, and if you can get boxes delivered to your door and start that process, you have to run to Home Depot and pay, or run into the back of Publix and get on Sunday to try to get their extra boxes. So that's a great feature, a great option that you have with using American Van Lines. Another question is, sometimes this happens when you close on a property and maybe you need to have the furniture stay in storage. What type of storage fees do you offer, and what does this cost to a potential client?
Well, by using American Van Lines and going through me, the first night of overnight storage, for example, if you needed to move out on the 14th and you couldn't move into the new property until you close at the end of the day on the 15th, we would hold it for the first night free of charge. That's normally a $200 fee. Now, say the customer's home's not done yet, and they're selling their one home, but they have nowhere to put the furniture for, say, a month. That first month of storage, is free of charge on American Van Lines.
That's a great feature. I mean, obviously we have some clients that sell and maybe they got a great price and they got to stay with mom and dad or in a hotel. I mean, it's such an expensive, to incur those fees to go to a moving, to go to a storage company for a month, and then you got to get it moved, and it's more chances that it can be damaged. American Van Lines, their guarantee is still in place. Their insurance, you still have all those employees touching your furniture and their packages, and that's a great feature. Another thing that I want to mention that Brian offers with American Van Lines, if your clients, I'm speaking to the real estate community, or people that might not have all the money to put down a 10% deposit or 30% if they're moving in state or out of state, and you need to have all your equity tied up on the property that you're selling, American Van Lines offers our clients, and I'm sure he'll offer if you work with him to take the money at closing on the closing statement, which is great. So you don't have to give the deposit. Certainly that would be between Brian and the real estate agent and their relationship. We have taken that on where clients might not be able to pay, and they're able to agree on the whole closing statement that they get paid at closing, that those fees would come from the closing. So they don't have to take it out of pocket, and Brian and his team at American Van Lines will actually move you, and you don't have to put out any money. So that's a great feature. And again, Brian and his team are looking to work together. If there's ever any questions or issues, I love that I can just call them on a cell phone. I don't have to call a national chain and get an 800 number. You get the big company name with the local guy that knows what he's doing, been in the business a long time. So I really appreciate Brian always being available and help our clients. They have crazy questions. We sometimes have some crazy things that happen where it's just like
all the time.
I mean, but you know what? It's good to say, hey, this is what the process is. This is the honest truth of what's going to happen. And I haven't had a client yet that said, Brian did them wrong, or they weren't told this from day one. I really think that when you get a quote on, for your moving, that it shouldn't be based on the cheapest price. Brian offers a very, very, affordable price for what they do. I think it's definitely competitive in this business. Maybe it's not always going to be the lowest price. It's not going to be the highest price. But I really strongly advise you to speak with your real estate professional. These questions should definitely be asked when you're meeting with potential moving company, and Brian's always available. Brian, why don't you give your contact information so
you can reach me at my cell phone number. Is the best one to reach me is 914-467-0890. You can also email me at brian.maguire@americanvanlines.com. If you want me to spell it out, it'd be easier. It's BRIAN.MAGUIRE @americanvanlines.com. Mike, thank you very much for having me.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You guys have any other questions? You can always contact us. We'll be happy to give you Brian's information. If you have any other real estate related questions, if you're looking to buy or sell, please give us a call. We're looking to provide value every week, every month, every day in our local market. So please reach out to us for all your real estate needs. And you guys have a great week. Thank you.